Oh, that's interesting. I think my computer is struggling with the actual. There we go. Bada bing. Hi. This has been an interesting day and an interesting few days leading up to this stream, and it's interesting to see how it's working out every single time. Because in the beginning, the last one we had, the last TTX we had, was stressful. I stressed for days, hours per day. It was not a fun experience, but it happened exactly how it's supposed to happen. It was weird because after the experience that was for 5.5 hours, today we're gonna go for shorter. We're gonna go for an hour, maybe 1 hour and a half. But despite all that, and me just having slept 3 hours before the stream, everything just flowed beautifully, beautifully. So today I've been in contact with several of the tribe members. I have one here on the property right now. We are going to have a TTX physical event kind of at the same time as we did last time, but this is not going to be one of those big ones that we had. That's the main exciting thing about TTX. It always shifts. It's always malleable to the situation. It is always epic. And some of the epicry this time is going to be a major reset in getting the house in order. You know, getting through the clothes and stuff. To do that effort, to really go through and make that thing shine again. It has been a journey and a half, and it has also provided me a whole bunch of clarity because then I see what I have to do every day. I enjoy doing it for once instead of having that mental friction all the time, and it's interesting. So we're gonna do something after this event, and during this event, we have a plan almost. We set the headlines for what we wanted to do, which is going to be talking about some of the things that we've experienced within the Legacy Forge and the things that we have created now in the past few weeks. Because honestly, it's unique. And that's why we are having these events, because it's literally to make sure that we see that this is actually something that works, something that is actually tangible, right? Because we have created something that is hard to explain. And if you haven't seen that video, I think we should have that video here in just a moment because it kind of goes through exactly what this is, exactly what the whole essence of TTX is and what we picture in the future with it, because that is so beyond what most people can envision, and it's already happening in the background. Oh, you didn't hear that. I just blew my ears off. So I'm gonna put this off on the stream, and then you can see the thing that just got created during the night. Like overnight, this came back, which is just it just shows so much potential, because we have hundreds, if not probably thousands of these to show you guys. I'm gonna see if I can do this in the right way, and then if I don't, then it's just gonna be one of those live experiences that just did not go as planned. But this could be loud. I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit, and then here we go. We're going to do something that cannot be explained. Imagine a not-so-distant land that is abundant in self-awareness, growth, and adventure. An inward quest to unlocking true belief in yourself, not by anyone else's reality, but yours. Into the tribe that sees and hears you, walks the path and shares the vibrational truths of the universe that is you. I mean, seriously, it's epic, and that was just one of the things that came from us sitting down and then just figuring, what if we do that? What if we want to focus on this? What if we create that, and then we put this in that place and blah blah blah, and just start to create something insane? And then it kind of shifted into the real world. You know, we started virtual, and then it started to shift and merge, and a whole bunch of things happened where we saw that this is not just a little thing that we're doing online. This is something that can actually be transferred into every aspect of life, into parenting, into focus creation mode. If you want to be creative, if you want to do something that requires an effort, like me cleaning the house, if you want to go over a mountain, if you want to do more physical stuff and get into shape and just doing something that feels fun while doing that. You know, living life, learning how to live life while having fun doing it, having goals to strive for so that you know what you're doing every day. You get up out of bed with a purpose, you have something to build, something to be happy about. That's what we want to do, and that's what we want to do from the very get-go, from the everything that we do, from just saying hey to someone on the street. In a very short while, there are going to be cards, much like this card right here. And on it, it will be very specific, because we are going to have conversations. We already have these. So this is just to make that even more epic. Once we have that conversation, we provide them with a card, and it says on this, you have been chosen because they are like-minded, because you have had an amazing exchange of energy, and is like, I need you in my tribe. I need to talk more with you. But how often do we actually reach out to the people we say, well, yeah, we'll talk more? You know, this was a brilliant idea to just have that go organically. So my idea with this one was that I have amazing adventures, and when I give these out to people, there are two things at the bottom here that you can't see. It's my Instagram handle and hashtag whatever you want that to be. So I was creating this virtual kind of photo album, and that was just growing organically as I was going through the world, and it was amazing. But then that kind of escalated into something else. Like, what if we push it up a notch? What if we add something to it? What if we do that and this and that? And all of a sudden, we have TTX. I think I have something that nobody has seen, and I've been kind of scared for showing it. But I feel like this is like TTX Virtual is supposed to be epic, and when you come here, you have gone through a journey. There are not many links that people can get to come into these places, and because of that, everyone seeing this video, you are entitled to something awesome. So I'm going to show you something that has not really been shown to the public, and it's something that we are working on, and we can't really wait to see how it looks when you get to when it's done, because this is just what we have so far. I'm going to try to not blow your ears off while I'm doing this. This is also happening live, so I'm pretty amazed that we are doing this. Okay, I'm going to go into this now. You're going to do something that cannot be explained. So yeah, that is also something that just came overnight. It was something that was, here is a file, this is a video, and this is what we've been doing, and this is like structured as well as we could, and this is picturing a metaphysical journey through multiverses, and he's going through hellscape. So how can we take the essence from this and make people see what this is? Well, that is impossible. So let's just create an experience. You know, it's been a journey and a half, as I said, and now we are at the point where we are just opening the doors, literally opening the doors to all of the things that we have going on, because we have been working on creating a chronological, understandable, non-overwhelming journey that is individual to the person doing it, so that they are going through this thing, but they're learning how to write the answers instead of reading for them. I know. All of this has just been so interesting to behold, because today we have this education system. We talked about this last time, where everyone is going through a learning phase differently. And a video game, you start at level 1, and then you have all these levels to the top level, and whatever happens in that span is up to the game developer, right? But if you have done so much, that you've gotten so much stuff in the game, and you're just so good that being a level 1 is boring, then you're going to do something to get to level 2. And so we figured we can create a game that makes life like that, where you have specific things and quests and all these things to do while going about your life, having fun, doing these achievements and getting these goals and rewards. And people have been trying this a lot of times with fitness, with porn, with a whole bunch of different meaningless things. But put that into education and personal development and just this whole thing that we're doing with metaphysics and all that, it creates a game out of life. Life, the adventure game, or saga, self-awareness, growth, and adventure. That is the essence of what we do. Make it fun to go through an experience. And some people don't really know that they have been through the experience until they're at the end of the experience. And then they're like, oh, wow, that was the experience? Ooh, now I see what you mean, right? So that's why we have these TTX Virtual events, so that we can take on the legacy forgers that you've seen so far, because we have a lot of legacy forgers, right? All of these people are just going through the legacy forge and living their dreams to become whatever they wanted to be, like superheroes, right? I think that you can't really achieve everything that you want unless you are aligned with who you are. And then if you are aligned with who you are, you have to do something that is just pulling you towards what that is. And if you are supported by other people doing the same thing, the inspiration of them doing it and the accountability for you not doing it, it's just going to pull you to do it. And then all of a sudden, bam. So the Legacy Forgers have stories to tell, tales of transformation, legends of legacy. And they will come in here and share their stories so that they can provide the insights, the experiences, the fall pits, the treasures, the rewards, whatever guidance they can provide to help other people do the same thing. Because it's just by helping other people rise up that we actually achieve a good thing, I believe. And if more people do that, more people are going to rise up with each other, and then all of a sudden you're going to have some new reality that is just perfect according to who you are. Negative people are going to fall off. Positive people are going to be drawn in. You get the point. It's pretty transformational. Right now, I'm trying to multitask as well. I'm getting Marcus in. I'm seeing how he is right now because he's in Taiwan and they have the Moon Festival, which is interesting. It's a cool thing to take part in, basically. So he is out about. He's watching the stream, I think, as well because he's writing. I'm going to send you that right now. I'm on the side of the street of Taipei, noisy as fuck. Yeah. So he is around in the streets, and we're gonna see how he's gonna come on. Me coming on right now would be a mess, dude. If you just find a place if it fits, and then you see what you can do with it. So the point is, we're trying to get Marcus, and if we don't get Marcus, we have other Legacy Forgers. Marius is right here on the premises. He's playing a game. He's currently playing PlayStation. He has a story that is going to blow your socks off because all of the people going through the Legacy Forge had their own journey. Me, I started a little bit of my journey last time. Marius has not shared a lot of his. Marcus has shared a little bit of his. Brody has shared some of his. We have so many more. There are so many stories. So many amazing people that you're going to meet because it's literally how it is. Like when you go through this journey and you collect sagas and stories, you get to know people on a completely different level and you get their stories to add to the perspectives of your own. It's quite intense. So I'm thinking out loud. What do you think? If people are in the chat, I want to actually ask you, should I go for another Legacy Forger or should I get up, get Marius in here, maybe just shout for him, maybe just blow the horn and get him in here so he can sit off cam. If you're watching this right now, you don't have to sit in cam. And then we get some of the story that's going to blow your hat straight off. Because if you see the pain and the struggle and dragons and demons that other people have fought, odds are that you're going to become inspired. Because if they can, why can't you? And he has been up against the system. He has fought his own mental health. He has been told he's crazy. He has been medicated for this. He has been through the pain, through the fire, and now he is back better than ever. We have these amazing stories. So let me know, what do you want to do in terms of who do we want to get on? I can also get on Brody, maybe. I'm just going to send out the Zoom link like we did last time and just get people right in on this. All of these also have this common thread that not everyone has seen. And I'm looking forward to seeing how more people are going to see it because I always get the feedback from people after they watch the stream, after they've gone through the programs, after we've talked, all of a sudden they leave a piece of feedback that is like, interesting. So it's always extremely trying to bullet task yet. I'm having conversations while I'm having conversation. Just seeing all the different things we can go through here. And also, while we're talking about this, if you are here right now, you went through a journey to get here, right? There are things you can do to take that journey to the next step. Because if you're not inside the actual Legacy Forge on Discord, you're missing out on the tribe communication every single day. And all that requires is just you creating a free account on the legacyforge.com. That's it. Or the legacyforge.com/register. I could have that link up here, but I do also enjoy. Chat isn't visible. That's interesting. See, that's feedback that I need. Are you receiving messages? Hold on. No. Interesting. The Legacy Forge turned on subscriber only. Justin Yepes here. Justin! Dude! See, now this is interesting. This is really interesting. Justin is one of those people that I've seen in the industry who has a very real story to tell. He's coming from a very real perspective, and you can see these people in the crowd of the commodities. Let's just say it like this. You can see who are real. And Justin, if you want to receive a Zoom link where I can get your tale of transformation, that would be very interesting. Let me know in chat. No, it is visible. I just saw Justin's message. Ah, there we go. There's a latency. There's like this delay. When I speak, it might take like 5 seconds for you to see it, and then here. Oh God, this is interesting. I'm gonna take on something completely new. I've never talked to you, Justin, but you're gonna love this. This is gonna be a frequency elevation that I have not really been a part of before, because normally I can just pick up people that I know the stories of, but also having a new story just takes that to the completely new level. Just sent you a Zoom link, my brother. Let's see what happens now. The Zoom link is for you to come on here and talk with me. So now it's up to you. Do you feel like you can come here and share your story with me, just leaning in and hearing, what did you do then? What happened there? And just see how much of a dynamic conversation we can have right now, just as a proof of concept. See if I know who you are, because I think that I see you. And I have a good feeling that there are magical stories and magical insights to be had. So, it's up to you. This is basically what the essence of the Legacy Forge is. It is to talk to other Legacy Forgers, people who are creating their own reality, and then talk within their communities and within every. Yeah, let's do it. You're gonna love this. Talking about this thing all over the place, and then it's growing exponentially, and it usually grows after we had the live stream, which is very interesting, because as you know, it's not supposed to be easy to get in here. Although when you get a link directly for the Zoom, there are always magical things to be had. Last time, also just to clarify, last time I said that I was going to have on a whole bunch of people, and we had on 3, and we did it for 5 hours. But many people who thought that they were going to just be part of a Zoom meeting kind of missed out on what this was. So this is an event where everything that happens on the event is basically orchestrated as well as you can while building a plane in the air. Right? It's like you're having a plan, but you don't really have the content of the entire plan. So you're creating the plan as you go, and then you see what happens if you're put into the corner to really be creative, and then all of a sudden you grow to the next level, and it's basically just doing the thing that is gonna provide a result. And here we have another person who has done the thing and provided results. Oh, this is so interesting. I'm gonna put on audio so that they can hear you. There we go. I love your setup. There you go. Hey,
You good?
Justin. We're good. You're now live on
How's
the
it
Laser
going,
Forge.
Tor?
Oh, it's going amazing. It's just everything is an
What
adventure.
a what a treat! What a treat! I saw you post the event on
Yeah.
Facebook that you're going live in 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I went to the website and I saw it was starting in 3 minutes, and I registered. I signed up right away, and it brought me to YouTube Live. And as an entrepreneur, I believe in supporting other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So I genuinely wanted to see what you're so excited about, because if you're excited about it, I'm excited too.
Oh, and that's one of those huge insights. Like if you really believe what you're doing, doesn't matter how you do it.
Mm,
People are gonna find it. How did you like that
yeah.
process though? Like, because as entrepreneurs, keeping it stupid simple is always very hard, right?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
how it was? Just was it a flow? Was it engaging? How did you feel?
Well, I can give you some some opinions about my experience. So, um, as someone who's very relational, like I will figure out how to connect with people, right? If something is meaningful to someone, I will take the steps necessary to find out why it's so meaningful to them.
Yeah.
So I clicked the image in the comments, and it said to go to the link in the image. And at first I typed in legacyforge.com
Yeah.
and it didn't work. I'm like, oh no, what's wrong? And I looked again and it was the legacyforge.com. So I typed that in. And as a marketer myself, I would say that it works, but you may get more people to sign up if they can just click the link rather than type it
Exactly.
in, right?
Exactly.
So that's one thing. But again, because I really wanted to see what you're so excited about, I took the extra step and I typed it in because, well, because I care.
Exactly.
And after I signed up, I got the email. I clicked the link and it brought me to YouTube, and the event hadn't started yet. So I kind of just left it open in a window, and I walked away, and all of a sudden I heard talking. I'm like, oh, I guess it started. Let me see what's going on. And I commented, you engaged, and you sent me a Zoom link, and now I'm here.
That's a beautiful freaking, like, thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah,
And that,
yeah, my pleasure.
as you say, like that's the entire point here. We're trying to do something that hasn't been done before. Kinda. I think this has been done many
Yeah.
times, but to make that effort, to find that link, to mistype it and then still go into it just pre-qualifies you. You're like-minded. You know?
Yeah.
I don't talk
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
tire kickers. I don't talk to people who say, I want to
Mm,
do that. I wish I could do that, but they don't do that. Right?
mm,
So it's just the entire
mm,
process then. You explained that perfectly. I want this to be an event that is an experience more than just a common thing.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
caring, like the thing you're saying about people really resonating with people care about something. You can care about anything in the world,
Mm,
but
mm.
if you don't really believe in it, they're not going to believe in you. So coming from a marketer, I love,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 Well, I'm working on something right now, and more than an offer or a program, it's more of a concept, it's more of an ideology, and that is this balance between systems and relationships.
yeah,
Because I have a business mentor, and he invested in a $10,000 program, more than that, for a year, called Scaling with Systems.
yeah. I think I've
And
heard of that.
he's it's very popular.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he's good at what he does. He learned exactly what the program is named for, which is scaling with
yeah,
systems. But I feel that when businesses are built on systems, they may lack some of that care. They may lack some of the relationships. So I'm kind of toying and testing, what is it like to scale with systems and relationships equally? How can we bring the relationships and the processes together so that, well, we can scale even more effectively
exactly,
with relationships, not just with systems?
exactly. I love that
Mm.
because relationships makes you feel. It makes you not just walk around and blind. Like we are talking right now because there's a system to the relationship. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to learn
Well,
more about because I've been peeking on you. Like I've been seeing like okay, I want to know more
yeah.
about what he sees that as because we clearly see it the same way. Like there needs to be more
Likewise.
love,
Yeah.
basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. I agree. I agree. And I'd say that most entrepreneurs, mostly everyone, if systems is on one side of the spectrum
mm,
and relationships is on the other side, people naturally gravitate and lean towards one side.
mm.
And the growth is having a little bit more balance. And you might say that it's also some of that masculine, feminine energy or dynamic, where systems is more masculine and relationships is more feminine.
Yeah,
But there's other words for it, right? Um, it could be, what is it? It could be command versus nurturing,
yeah.
right? It could be, um, what is the word? It could be,
Nature versus nurture. What you've
yeah,
been
there you
told and
go.
what you've
Yeah.
learned. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 So there's a lot to that. And I believe right now, as a marketer, a lot of what is prevalent is aggressive and masculine. And I
yeah,
think it's slowly coming into play that there's more of a softer way of marketing. And, going back to what we said, a lot of individuals are trying to sell you things without even really knowing you.
yeah,
And it doesn't really work as well as it used to, where I believe that really understanding someone, like viewing them as a whole person, and because you understand them, you share your offer if they're a good fit. It's more genuine. And to really go down this, what I believe is happening is that a lot of the marketing and sales strategy that is so common and prevalent is left over from the industrial age when people were selling things.
100%.
We're now moving into the wisdom age where people are sharing their embodied experience as wisdom. We're moving into the wisdom age, but people are still using the marketing and sales tactics to sell things when we're slowly shifting beyond that, right? We're whole people, recognizing whole people. We can't market and sell things the same way we would to people if we're offering parts of ourselves to people who are going to benefit from those pieces of ourselves to have well, really to have streamlined success, right? Like one thing I say, and I'd be curious to know your take on this. One thing I say is you're most powerfully positioned to serve the person you used to be.
Yeah.
And that's the wisdom age,
Yeah.
right? So you're offering a part of yourself to someone who's struggling like you used to. You're no longer selling a thing to a person that you see as a thing. And that's the dynamic I'm looking to change.
I love that, and I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Mm.
not about. It's the whole overweight certified fitness coach phenomenon, where people
Mm.
take a course and they now sell the thing that they learn how to do in the course. But if you are talking
Mm.
from experience and just helping people through the storms you've already navigated,
Mm.
you're literally raising the frequency of the planet. Like you're helping other people become better, standing on the shoulders of others instead of trying to do it all by yourself. That's something that I've
Mm.
really felt. Like, because we are
Mm.
conditioned to believe that it's only about one thing, but as you say, it is the balance. What this wouldn't have
Right.
happened if I didn't have that one thing raising frequencies in that font, because that was the balance that I needed from the legacy,
Mm.
actually,
The Legacy Forge.
to what it was now.
That's great. Well, I also think about I think about this as weaving.
Yeah.
And in marketing, we say touch points,
Yeah.
but relationally, it's weaving. You're weaving together those touch points to see what's going to happen. And I recall I did a question post about what legacy your business is leaving behind. And you're like, whoa, check this out.
Yeah.
And that really stuck out to me because I asked that question, and your business is about providing more insights into how to answer that question for people who are interested in developing a legacy. So I think that's part of the weaving, right? Like I asked the question, that made an impression on you. Your response made an impression on me. And then when I saw your consecutive posts, I'm like, huh, let me check this out because we've been weaving and now we've woven so much that now we're on a call together. Right now we're live on YouTube, and it's an amazing thing. And that's also how I see marketing and finding the right clients to work with. I see it as a weaving, right? It's not just touch points. It's not just cold rote systems. It's a weaving. And what I see in this dynamic shift in the coaching mentorship space where you're really offering part of yourself is it's not so much is this an ideal customer, is this a qualified client. The way I look at it is this someone I can co-create with? Is this someone I want to co-create with? Is there synergy here where even if I am the business and I'm offering my services in exchange for compensation, there's some energetic creation here that is mutually beneficial to both of us. And it's not things, it's not the industrial age, here's money for an object. It's just like we're exchanging our spirits to, again, elevate our frequencies. And if we're elevating our frequencies from this co-creation, this synergistic relationship, it's also elevating the frequency of the whole collective, right? So it's interesting that we're in such alignment here because this is the first call we've had together, but we kind of just knew, we just knew something was special.
Exactly. Yeah, and I said this so before.
Mm.
Like getting you on, it is about that whole thing that you know, because you wouldn't be in this space if you didn't. And
Mm,
a soul recognize each other. I love what you
mhm.
said about the whole qualification, because there is one sentence that kind of wrapped that up. We don't call the qualified. Well, we don't qualify the called. We call the qualified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the people who are coming in, they already know, because it's just alignment. And
Mm,
I'm curious, because this is gonna be a long, long, long call if I was to dive into this. But SLS is our kind of take on this thing, this feeling, right? And it is what
mm,
we use to get through everything, because it's so easy. SLS is just being in alignment with yourself, doing the things that you have to do in order to get to where you are going, basically. If you don't do the thing, you're
mm.
not going to get the thing. I don't see a camera, by the way. I just see Justin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
There we go. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah.
it's basically walk the talk, right? And you are one of those people that I saw is walking the talk. You're posting real things based on the experience that I see you have, and that's the difference. You can see people shouting
Mm,
something just for the shout of it, but if you don't
right.
do the spew, you're not going to do anything.
Well, hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good point, right? This is getting interesting now because initially there's only so many things we can talk about because you're welcoming me onto the stage. There's only so many options for what the conversation can be.
Yeah.
And now it's interesting because there's so many different ways it can go,
Yeah.
and I have to choose. I have to choose which one thing I want to talk about, which thread I want to continue to weave with you, even though there's so many amazing things that I want to discuss. So I would say that what comes to mind is this extrovert ideal that a happy and successful person is very loud and outgoing, and they're seen more than everyone else.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is what I agree with, that is that industrial age marketing where you have the loudest speaker and you have the most flash, you wear the brightest colors, you're the peacock with the biggest brightest feathers, but you may not actually be saying anything that authentic, that's not that meaningful towards raising the vibration of the others around you. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because that's immediately what comes to mind. And what I see happening now is wisdom's wisdom, man. Like it doesn't matter how it's packaged. If you hear it and it resonates and you know it's coming from someone that is speaking their truth, you just know. And another thing that you mentioned that I want to circle back around to is how we qualify ourselves, how when you are in alignment with yourself, it's easy to connect with the individuals who also are in alignment with themselves. But it's a tough process because there's a lot of discernment that you're not going to learn unless you waste time and energy on the wrong people, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's just like, oh man, these people are taking my energy. I don't feel great around them, but for some reason, I'm spending time with them. And when you come more into alignment with yourself, it's just easy, effortless to come into more weaving with other individuals who are in alignment with themselves. And it's just it's amazing. And I found that more and more over the last year or so, and especially in this online
Yeah.
space, right? Like there's it can be a lot of noise, as you know, in social media, but if you become aware, it becomes easy to identify like who's that one individual, who's this someone that I want to check out their YouTube live, right? Like if they're doing something that's meaningful to them, I want to check it out. Like I resonate. I'm curious. Why am I curious? Well, as you said, well, I qualified my
Yeah.
presence of being here without me even knowing it.
I love that. Like, and that's also part of the magic here. I can say something, and as you said, your comeback, your response, your intuitive direction from what you've heard just gives me so much more
Mm,
to ponder on. This is the magic of the TTX.
yeah.
You're getting so many new
Mm,
thoughts. It's just,
mm.
yeah. Yeah, so what do you think about all that? Like, I see that if you are going around and you're affected by the people you're with at their frequency, right? You're feeling bad because you're in a group of people that don't really see life the same way, and you know that there is something better. You've felt something better, but you're looking for that something better. I found that
Mm.
if you go out and create an adventure that is like this, it scared the shit out of me. All right, it was so freaking. I was so nervous the
Yeah.
first time, but just doing those things and just walking the talk, right? Do the things that
Mm.
is gonna scare you a little bit, see what happens, and then you have something to go from, and then you can build on that. It's I've been saying it
Mm.
for years, but no people who are saying that they want success after 10 years have actually done the things that they've been reading about. We talked about
Yeah.
it's better to write your own answers based on experience than to read other people's answers based on theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so it's limitless.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I would say is that because we're both entrepreneurs,
Mm.
and there's something about entrepreneurship that it, it just it just resonates with my soul. I
Yeah.
believe that marketing, sales, and business is how I express myself as an art form, and that art form is business and marketing and sales. And I really feel that us as individuals within the collective moving into the wisdom age, I really believe that entrepreneurship in its truest essence, entrepreneurs are forces for good.
100%.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. Sales is helping.
Unfortunately, it's not. Right. It's yeah, sales a service, right? It's not that I even really want to sell anything. Like I
Yeah.
just want to share more of my spirit.
Yeah. Energy exchange.
And exactly.
Yeah. And yeah.
Exactly. Mm,
100%
mm.
because many people would, associate sales with something bad, but yeah, that is sales in its industrial evolution form. Like if you have
Right.
sales as
Hmm.
help, then you're selling to someone. If you're recommending the best film that is going to change the life, that's sales
Hmm.
basically. It's just how much are
Hmm.
you willing to exchange for the energy that you provide or receive,
Hmm.
and that is the balance again, right? If you feel good about something and you reciprocate that feeling, the world is just going to continue to grow because everyone does that. We're going to come to a point where this is the best currency to use for the symbol of success now. It makes sense. Let's just help each other.
Hmm.
And then whatever comes from that is just, creative
Yeah.
structuring, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one of these days, right?
Yeah.
Generations from now, centuries from now, there may not be any concept of currency or money.
Right? Exactly.
Going once again back to the days of old, right? The ancient days. And one thing I've been contemplating a lot recently is the energetics of business,
Yeah.
right? Like the soul of business, right? Like your business has a soul,
Mm.
my business has a soul. And this is one concept that was introduced to me by a mentor is anything, an inanimate object, a business, anything that is raising the consciousness of the collective has a soul. And I'm like, whoa, that is
Yeah.
deep. And
Yeah.
it's either you're intentional about it or you're not. And so I've been more and more intentional about it. Like when I'm writing copy, when I'm creating an offer, I'm like, what am I really putting out there into the world, into the ether?
Mm.
Like, what are my intentions? What are my feelings? Am I thinking about the people I can serve? Or am I thinking about the money I can make by putting this out there?
Mm.
And it feels much more grounded. And I can notice a difference when people react to the offer. There's a sense of joy that they receive. And I know that energetically is because there was a lot of service that went into creating that offer and they sense it. You know,
Yeah.
they sense it.
100%. The frequency of
Mm,
belief, basically.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I love how, it, for many, it doesn't seem like there are a lot of commonalities or connections between the different personalities and niches, I guess, and service providers and people in general. because there are like
Mm.
8.5 billion realities out there just trying to commingle. But
Right.
it's so interesting that energy and alignment and frequencies, they're
Hmm.
always like, yeah, yeah, I know what you mean because I felt that same thing. And then how we
Yeah.
portray that or respond to that is extremely interesting.
Well, to respond to what you said and to put a different spin on it, so rather than there being 8 billion different realities,
Yeah.
there's one reality and there's 8 billion different perceptions of that reality. You know what
Perfect
I'm saying?
answer. Yes, I know exactly what you're
Right?
saying.
Yeah.
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 I had a feeling.
And then you can, yeah, and that just opens up so many more paths, right? No, you're just a universe
Hmm.
exploring yourself and again observing yourself through yourself. That's just,
Yeah.
there are so
Yeah.
many fascinating topics that can set your mind and reality free. Literally.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'm glad that I jumped on, and I knew it'd be a great thing for me to really engage with you as our first live conversation. And one thing you mentioned earlier is how like you're afraid, right? You're fearful. You're figuring it out. You're not exactly sure what to do, but you're going to do it anyway. And entrepreneurship can feel really lonely. It can be really scary. It's like you have this vision, this calling, you have this mission, and you know you just got to take action to get it out there to the people who are going to benefit from it. And you believe you're going to find them. But going back to how I was saying that the truest essence of entrepreneurship is that it's being a force for good, it doesn't have to be as lonely as most people make it out to be. And that's one thing I've experienced where like where are all these other entrepreneurs who actually care, who actually value relationships, who are actually innovating rather than just doing another version of someone else's brand? And honestly, that's one reason why I'm here too, because I saw that you're starting something new.
Yeah.
I want to show my support because I know it can be lonely. I know that it's tough to get something out there. And it's just like, huh, if it's meaningful to them, I want to find out why. And I want to support them and I want to encourage them. And I want to have them as an ally. And there's no better way to get allies than to support people when they're just starting something new.
Have you, the word ally, did you,
Mm.
was there any specific reason why you chose that specific word?
I've been using the word ally a lot over the last few months.
Nice.
It's all about alliances, and it's just it for me it carries a lot more meaningful resonance because what words do we use in business? We use referral. We
Affiliate.
use affiliate.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have that same
No.
resonance, and ally, right? Alliances, and these four words that I think about like over and over again, like every day. And every time I say it, I feel that it becomes more empowered, more powerful. It's this idea, this concept, this vision of synergistic business cross pollination.
Oh, damn. Nice.
It's good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
It's good. Yeah, let me say it one more time. Synergistic business cross pollination.
Yeah.
And that's some of what I mean by scaling with relationships. How can you do it? You build alliances. You know
Meaningful.
people authentically. You know people's mission. You know their vision. You know their heart. You know their mind. You know that they're working on the connection between their heart and their mind.
Yes.
And when you know someone in your network that has an issue, you say, hey, you talk to this person
That's
because they're legit.
that's tribe, man.
Mm,
Literally. Like you're having it's they say that it takes a village to raise a kid, right? I agree
mm,
100% because if they get perspectives
yeah.
from a whole bunch of experiences, then that's all the better. And we
Mm,
have this entire thing right now. You are part of the tribe. That's why we're talking right now because you
mm,
came through the thing and we're a tribe. It,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the overall, the overarching power of it all. I think it's the camaraderie between like brothers and sisters fighting for the same thing, and if that same thing is how much can they provide of value to the world,
Mm-hmm.
that is powerful. And just seeing how, with enough like-minded people doing the same thing, it's not about competition. It's not about any other thing than to create the best thing one can together. And over time, I guess I learned the hard way. Doing it alone, not as fun or as easy. But having just conversations like this, tremendous value for
Yeah.
people who are already on that path, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People who are feeling a little bit isolated or alone, right? Like a conversation like this can give them the motivation or inspiration to keep on going, or even more than that, they'll join your community or they'll join my community. Better
Exactly.
than that, they'll join both. And then because they join our communities, we find out about their community and we both join theirs. Like that's the synergistic business cross pollination, where um, I'm going to refer to business because I just think about business all the time. I
Yeah.
love business. There's too much competition,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
just like tribe fighting with tribe rather than us being one unified tribe, and we share clients, we share audiences, we share customers, and because the individuals who are looking for solutions, like they sense the goodwill
Mm.
at the core of this synergistic business cross pollination, like they feel there's something different. Like, who are these people who are allied when most other people are in competition with each other?
Yeah.
There's so much goodwill here. Let me check that out. And then they just become part of the tribe too. Another thing that I've been having a lot of conversations about lately, because these conversations are really an extension of my internal dialogue and my contemplations. It's this idea of shared authority,
Yeah.
which you've touched on.
Yeah.
There's too much competition, and to share authority with another influencer, another brand, to share audiences, there's this essential softening of the ego. There's this letting go of the ego that most people are too afraid to do. And it is scary because it is vulnerable to
Yeah.
share your authority. But there has to be a lot of trust, a lot of authenticity that happens because you've developed the relationship that you can share authority, knowing that, well, you're not going to get stabbed in the back. And what happens is, yeah, I've been stabbed in the back. I've been stabbed in the back multiple times. I'm sure you have too,
Yeah.
because I felt that some of the conversation you were alluding to um, was going that way.
Yeah.
It's tricky, but you just you got to keep trusting. You got to keep trusting, even though there's no reason to trust, because there are trustworthy people out there. And it's difficult, but the sooner you find someone that you can be vulnerable with, you place your trust in, and that trust is reciprocal,
Mm.
like that's that healing, right? That heals the wound of all the other backstabbing you got, because you just have that solid relationship of trust that you're looking for all along, right? So it's
That was
it's
beautiful.
interesting dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about the world just from business, right?
Yeah.
Like, as you can see, yeah.
100%. Like the whole entrepreneurship business venture, that is definitely the best personal development program I've ever been part of.
Mm. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And V
I've
loves it
heard
too. I actually
the, what
bookmarked.
is it?
You just we have a legacy forger called V, and he's currently in the comments, and he
Oh,
just
cool,
hearted
cool.
your speech, your artistic expression. I actually bookmarked it because
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
I think this is just the start of very interesting relationship going forward, because I love to keep
yeah.
these conversations going when I have, when there's alignment from the get go. You want to have more of those conversations, and we've just opened up a whole bunch of different paths that we can choose to go
Oh
down as
yeah.
we get to know each other. But
Definitely. I believe that this is the start of our alliance. I believe it.
exactly,
I feel it within my heart, my soul. And it's the first time. It's the first time. I was just saying this to someone earlier today. I do this weekly call on Saturdays because I am looking to launch a community of leaders. And the whole idea of this is a community for leaders making space for other leaders. That
100%.
shared authority,
Yeah.
that's spotlighting other leaders. And we were sharing what's alive, what's meaningful for us this week, this month. And my share was, I'm just meeting the right people. I'm getting on calls with individuals for the first time, and I feel like I can't believe this is our first conversation because it's so resonant. And I'm having a conversation like this the same day after I said that with you. Like, it's so amazing. Probably because I'm aware of it, I'm talking about it, I'm attracting it. And I'll say something about business and leadership. And one thing that's also on my mind a lot these days is business leadership, conscious business leadership. So the idea that I heard from one of my mentors is that if you feel called to business, if you feel called to entrepreneurship, there are some wounds that you have that can only be healed by going on the journey of being an entrepreneur. And I was like, damn, that's deep. And it resonates. And I know it's true. And the same thing goes for leadership too. If you're called to be a leader, there are some wounds that need to be healed that can only be healed by going on that journey of becoming a leader. So I just wanted to share that because I felt that it was the ideal time for that.
100%. 100%. And also because I had $4 million in debt at 20 years old with no job, at the like criminal debt. So it was like, oh shit, that just happened. And I can resonate 100% with what you're saying. Like, my journey has been a composition of many. So I lost my family to deportation. That's one. There's a lot of things. And every single thing, every single journey has been incorporated into this. And as you say that, like, I resonate 100% because everything in Saga or anything that we do in the coaching, and me as a coach will pull on those experiences as my tool belt, right? So it shaped everything. And every time it was just to get more clarity for myself so that I knew how to deal with the wounds. So, dude, that is powerful as hell.
Yeah.
And you kind of know that to some degree, but you really don't think about it in that
We
context.
Do.
Yeah.
Right. You do. Right. It's like we know. I mean, that's what the insights or the perception shifts are. Like those shifts in perception, which are so dynamic and so like, wow, and it's not even that it's something new. It's something we've known all along, and it's just we finally realize it. Like we finally embrace the truth of it. And again, that's one reason why I love having conversations with the right kinds of individuals that I'm very allied with, because they bring more of that subconscious nature to the surface. And it's just like, wow, like what else can we awaken together? What can we awaken for other people that are listening to us? And it's a pleasure to be here for sure.
It's a pleasure to have you. And also, speaking of that,
thank you.
that is the reason why I'm doing this, because I was doing it for so long. Nobody really said anything. You think you were doing just alone, but I had these wounds to heal. So I just kept on doing it for myself. And then people started to like reach out and say, I see what you're doing there. Thank you for that. Like, people would see this video in the year 3500, and it might help with some mindset that has just been a symptom of me and you and everyone else forging their legacies, didn't do our job correctly. So they still have to learn what love is. And just, so we're all of these, every single minute of a video I see as our legacies. My kids can get to know me on a deeper level just by watching these in the future.
Yeah, that resonates a lot.
Yeah.
But only is it going to be meaningful years, hundreds of years from now, if we're speaking our truths.
Exactly.
If we're speaking from the heart. Exactly. If we're speaking from our embodied experience rather than just regurgitating information. And I sense that with you. And it's rare. It's rare that people are actually listening to each other and actually speaking from the heart.
Yeah. I have something I want to share with you before I have to toss you out.
Sure. Go for it.
I did this. We have several events, and one of these physical events, we like to go deep, right? And we have used plant medicine and other things to do these things. And last time I wrote a few things in the pages. I was just starting to scribble down. So on this one, it said we walk in the dark and turn the flashlight to show the trodden path. So basically just flipping the light and showing other people how they can have a better journey on that same path. But also we look for the answers others had written, reading to find truth instead of writing the words ourselves. To write the answers, to go based on the experience and the feelings you had to kind of embody, and then see how you can make that make sense for other people who didn't hear a shit about the same solution from another person and another person's vocabulary. It has so much to, there's so much power in just sharing your value and experiences, your insights.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
You wrote that?
Yeah, because I was connected to the universe at the time. So I was like,
it's good. It's really good. I was like, wow.
Yeah. It's gonna.
Did you recite that? You wrote that. That's really good.
It's that this. I got this from a shaman in Norway on top of a mountain where it was insane. But it's parchment, and he said it's a spell book. So papyrus and stuff inside, and then I can just go through these ceremonies and just reflect and write these pages in there, and who knows what this will contain when it's filled. It's going to be a treasure to my own mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The connection there is that you say it's a spell book and you write in it, and when you write, you're spelling. Like that's the connection between spells and spelling, right? It's just like spells are words. It's the power of words. That's all it is.
And words are the power of actions. Like I've used this. I smoke, right? I have some vices, and I said that I can make anything happen. I can create magic, but first I have to have the thought or the words, and then I have to do it. So this was not a thing in my mouth just a few seconds ago, and if I rolled it, it wouldn't exist before I rolls it, and I can have other people roll it for me if I communicate correctly what I want them to do, and they believe in why they should do it. So all of a sudden, the spelling, magic, we can create anything if we can make sense of what we want, and that is powerful.
Yeah. Wow. I feel if we don't conclude now, we're going to go down another rabbit hole. So let's wrap it up. And I look forward to having another conversation with you.
Right,
and such a pleasure. So grateful to finally connect with you in this space. And I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen today, right now. But it was the right time because we're here.
Exactly. Once it happens, it just goes. I know exactly what you mean. We're going to talk a lot more about that. Thank you, Justin, and I will have his information in the details below. Thank you so much for taking the call.
Thank you so much, Tor. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Have a good one.
You too.
I'll be watching later.
Fantastic. All right, so that's just proof of this entire thing. As I said in the beginning, we haven't prepared for anything other than just preparing to prepare. I was thinking about bringing another person on, but it's already 4 p.m. here, and I said I was going to go for an hour and a half. So I think if we go for a little middle part there, in 15 minutes ish, I want to share a little bit about something that we have been doing, because I love how you said that, Justin. How you kind of recounted the journey to get in here, because it's very much about creating that adventure, and that only works if there is alignment in the adventure. So we have been trying to figure out how can we make that into real life. So technically you already did it. Technically it's already a proof of concept. But as I said, I want these to have like meaningful cards and clues and things all over inside of the Legacy Forge. And the Legacy Forge, just to share a little professional, like if you're a marketer, if you work online, my biggest key was the Legacy Forge, because that is the movement. If you want to learn more about what that means, this didn't make sense when I first read it, but the movement is what people really burn for. The same values, the same mission in life. And that could be just how you conduct yourself through life, right? So having something that you believe in, and as Justin also said, creating something that really means something for you, where you really go in and show your passion for what you're doing, you're going to see that movement is going to be created. And once you have the movement, you have a freedom like none other. Like I started with a business, and then I was a personal brand, and then I was the Legacy Forge in the box of Legacy Forge, because there were 3 stages. The 2 first stages were too hard for me to communicate in an aligned way because I was business. The business was me, but yet in the end, I was just a legacy forger, right? I was just one person with this mindset that wanted to create something. And then all of a sudden, holy shit, there are more people like that. Well, we can put up a house to just have these things in the legacy forge. And then TTX, the tribe experiences, came from that. And then everything just kind of fell into itself, right? Which leads me to the next thing. We have a lot of things that we have created, a lot of interesting freaking things that I don't know how it's going to work, but I know they are going to work. You know how I mean? I also have a response to allies here, Justin. There is something that I'm going to show everyone for the first time that is it's a new concept of hard to explain. I have to just show you. I'm going to have to show you because we've done a lot of these keys, and you might have seen the keys, right? You have seen different cards and specific kind of elements that has riddles in them and all these things. And right now I cannot find the one that I was looking for. Maybe that is just intentional. Maybe we shouldn't show that on stream, and I can just put another hard effort into it and say it out loud because it's that simple. Now, if you go to the legacyforge.com/secret, there is a thing there. There is a portal there. And that portal responds differently from every person using it. Because the person using it usually have something that they received in a key. There might be a rune. There might be a key pass, like just a phrase. There might be something. And people have started to ask me, what is the keyword? Well, the intention of it is to keep the keywords very secretive, very hidden, and very exclusive. Right? I will just end it at that, because I will send you that in your email later. All right? You're gonna get that, so you're gonna see what I mean, and you're gonna be like, "Ooh, oh God, I see what he means." But before that, everything here was intended to create a better structure or logical flow to life, which was a hard ask. But I observed my kids and how they are learning to become humans in this age, and they playing with their games and stuff, and iPads being part of their life since the beginning. You know, people, I don't think everyone really appreciates the impact that has on a generation, because we have never seen that happen before. I was fortunate enough to go from analog to digital, basically. But I still felt kind of digital when I was sitting there on my Microsoft 95 playing the screensaver. Right? So the kids today have superpowers, and I've been trying to see how can we leverage those so that they can become infinite creators themselves. They can create whatever they see, and they have this alignment in themselves. They know who they are. They would be more, protected, I guess is a wrong word, but you know what I mean, from bullying. They wouldn't be affected as much by what other people say because they know who they are. It's like my mentor, Jesse Elder. He said that the success from his karate gyms did not come from him teaching them karate. It came from him showing them what it was to be a black belt. So they identified with being a black belt. A black belt was cleaning up after themselves. They were taking responsibility. They were protecting other people. They were protecting those who could not protect themselves. They were picking up their jackets from the hallway and putting that on the peg. It was a whole lifestyle that just followed being a black belt. And when people resonate with that, stuff happens. So I've been trying to make my kids resonate as superheroes, where love is basically the most powerful force in the universe. And as long as they know who they are and help people in need and just share the value and all that stuff, there are no limits to what they can do. But then you see the technology that has all this power over them today. And what I wanted then was to have them go through a filter of that world, basically. So if you're going to play Roblox, it would make more sense if they played a game that would actually give them life advice and life skills in an entertaining way that they understand. So that's what we started to do. We started to build Roblox games. I have so many stories of me and my kid and his mom on a pirate ship hunting Moby Dick. This is the world we're living in. Like, we can have adventures every day, and kids today are taking elements from that into the real world. An example of that is, how often do you see a 8-year-old drawing a picture and then also underneath they have 3 boxes saying like, comment, and subscribe? That is a side effect of social media and YouTube and unfiltered access to these things. We can say all we want that we don't want our kids to be on a screen, but that's not going to work really, because we are created to be against authority. So if we can make sense to them that they should know the power of the game they're playing, the power of the device they're sitting with, and how they can use it to create anything and help other people as a black belt or a legacy forger, I think that more things could happen in a positive way for the future. And because I see a whole, biographies were the thing we went for before to get wisdom, maybe the talks around the fire and the TV shows and documentaries and biographies and all these things. Today we have a new system. The video game is a way to teach people incrementally, according to their stage in the development. And if you introduce that in an early stage, at their personality level, who they are, what they can do, and then just offer them the tools to take that to the next level, then I think that that is going to be a powerful thing, because I'm working towards a physical center of alternative healing. And I know that once that happens, there are going to be things there that is going to help the future generations through these epic things like storytelling and fitness, I guess, motion, like physical motion, and just being a leader in your own life, building things and creating as a community on a planet that we don't have a choice in being at. Like, we can go metaphysical as well, but you know what I mean. If we collaborate and cooperate, we can create something amazing. And so we started to create the Legacy Forge, like the real big ass thing that is going to be the Legacy Forge. We have origin key NFTs. There's going to be these RFID chips that you can open these centers with for the remote nomad Airbnb style sanctuary that is all over the world. It's insane. But we needed a way to get into that logically. So invitations through these cards or these electronic pictures or whatever we create in the future, these became the entrance into this world. And in the world, you're going to be faced with the epicness of your own story and how you can transmute that into true power, accepting the past, embracing the future, taking action today, all those things. That was, you know what I mean, right? And we do that through concepts that we learn based on experience that seems to resonate with a lot of people, because we are able to actually explain a lot of these things now. We had to build a few planes before we did that. But Saga is the first step. I can show you the different seasons of the year that we got through. We have some interesting association with 369. Just the number 3, the number 6, the number 9, and all these different numbers. So we figured 3 seasons per year. Essence Anvil in the fall, then Exalted Hammer in the winter, and then Ember Forge in the summer. If you don't know what that means, it makes no sense to you. But Essence Anvil is the essence. This is where we are learning the foundations. And then Exalted Hammer is actually the last step. It's for the people who have everything they want. They just want that experience. So we went from 1, 3, 2. So it became a triangle as well. But with these 3 separate seasons, we were able to create separate experiences, live a very varied lifestyle, and create whatever we wanted based on the things we were doing in that season. So right now we're focusing Saga, giving people an opportunity to go through this if they are ready and see for yourself what that is. Saga, inside of there is Ragnarok, where you're gonna go for the end of the old and the beginning of the new. And you're gonna learn more and more about this, because everything is on the Legacy Forge, right? So we're just talking about what we're creating, what we want to create. The idea here is that everything from the very first step of a child, oh, not that bad, but everything is kind of aligned, so that if they come to a path where they have a question they can't answer, they might learn how to find that answer within themselves. Because I don't believe in telling people what to do, but showing them the path to water and then having them choose whether to not or drink or thirst to death, I guess. That's the thing that I believe in the most, because if I have something that I know is going to help a certain person, if I don't share it, it's going to be a reckless, I would say, action. Because if we don't help the people we can help, who the heck are we to say that we are helping anyone? So we're creating free things like this all the way through the YouTube channel. Like everything that we do is on the YouTube channel for free. It's just thousands of hours to go through. Or you have the structured steps going from the very beginning and all starting at thelegacyforge.com, where everything is just laid out so that we have one place where you can find your answer based on your adventure. It's magical. And this stream today literally just showed me that it is possible, because Justin came on, the first ever conversation we've ever had, and it's just alignment. And if you saw the Jesse Elder episode, then you know that that exact same thing happened there. And every single time it happens, it always happens like that. The alignment cannot be denied. And there is something happening that we probably don't really understand the impact of yet, but we also know the wave we are riding, and we know that something is happening to such a degree where it's kind of frightful. So many things are happening so fast that I don't think we really appreciate how much power we have in changing anything we want to a future that is better for everyone. Everyone based on their dream and their vision and their journey. Because if you create in general, I think you're possessed by a power that most people don't understand the meaning of. You know, flow, SLS, whatever you want to call it, in frequency and harmony, just creating, being called to do something that aligns with you. The magic happens when you introduce tribe into that. When you have those different perspectives, different experiences, different niches and professional. I have a problem with professional because I also think that everything I do is an expression of who I am. And then when you can do that as a whole for yourself, that is just a pure expression of what you do, then everything is kind of life and everything is kind of business. And there's no real division, but you have to find a balance in that, relationships and systems. I'm going to talk more about that with Justin, and I think that we're going to get a lot of interesting stuff. Also about Justin, I will get his details so that you can find those in the description of this video. If you want to be part of Saga, which I highly, highly, highly recommend you do, if you want to see transformation on a level that you can't really see it, or you can't envision the transformation because you don't know what you know. You don't know what you don't know. And it's almost like trying to remember something that you didn't know until you learned it. So you're trying to remember how it was to not know what you not now know, which has already created a whole bunch of different wirings in your brain. So it's an experience. Everyone comes into Saga with a specific goal that they forge in chapter 1 of Saga, following 10 chapters, doing the effort, creating documentation of your journey based on an alignment and a plan and structured way of actually achieving that, alongside a tribe of people who wants to see you succeed. There are no ways to really fail if you really want to have anything that you want. Because we have talked about this so many times on this channel, on everywhere. If I was to take a brick every day and put that in a square somewhere, after a year, there's probably going to be the foundation of a foundation there. And then as I just continue to lay the brick, I'm going to create something that is going to just build and build and build and build and build. It's inevitable that I'm not going to be able to see a house there someday. So the Saga is exactly that. You go in and you do the effort every day, 1% or 0.1%, one step, one effort, action, whatever it is, every day. And you're going to see that your life transcends into something different. You're changing frequencies because you're now in the experience of gaining the experience that is going to create something epic by you just walking your talk. That's basically Saga. It's a journey to create a journey and an adventure out of life. Everything else is kind of just following on that. So normally, Saga is 111 euros per month. But I have a little surprise, a little gift, something that I was sitting there talking with Brody and saying, this is ridiculous. This is a stupid low price for this. But that's when you know it's aligned. when you actually believe that this is so much value for such a low cost that it is stupid. And you might think that by it being that cheap, you might actually hinder some transformation. But I think it might be actually just right because we have so many other things supporting everything else. But right now it's 111 euros per month. For the first 100, though, you can get a lifetime thing for 55 euros per month by going to the legacyforge.com/secret and adding in the secret word, you can write founding saga. Capital F in founding, all capital letters in saga. Founding saga. And you're going to get a lifetime thing for 55 euros per month, though. It's going to be an effort, but you're going to create your life the way you want it. Like Frederick, who's now creating 25,000 euros soon every month, and he's living in Bali. Or Ilonka, or all the other people that you're going to see very soon. And everyone has gone through this thing without really knowing that they went through the thing. Just like we saw in this video. So interesting to have this experience every single day, basically. But you're also going to get this on the email if you were signed up. If you have not created a free account on Legacy Forge, you should do that, because I already set up a free course for everyone coming in there for free. And I have big plans for that. Right now, there's just a few things, but it's shaping up to become huge really quick. And we are also creating things, videos, assets, all bunch of different values and resources for you to do anything that you please, depending on where you are in the journey, from whatever authority and experience in the Legacy Forge that can provide it. If you haven't seen anything that really resonates with you so far, it means that we just haven't found it yet. If anything resonated with you so far, you know that we can find a whole bunch more. That's just it. The Legacy Forge is based on the effort you put into it. The more effort you put in, the more effort you get out. It's the energy exchange. It's that easy. The more energy you put into this, the more value you're going to get out. And I can't wait to see how it's going to continue to develop and evolve, because we are on a path and we are just getting started. So with that said, V, I'm gonna end with a few words of V. Can I see if I can put that up on the screen here, maybe? I can. Words are the magic we say okay, hold on. Words are the magic we say is non-existent in the world. Words are power. Yes. Words are spelling. It transforms, but it never dies. Great art never dies. It transforms, but never dies. It's like energy. Just transmutes. Can never be killed off or created, basically. It's just a different version of whatever is already there, just transmuting into itself. I love your faces, all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Look forward to what's going to happen now, because this was just a little milestone, just a little more, a tiny step towards that direction, where we are just going to see so many things happen that I don't want to think about it because I'm getting overwhelmed. All right. Love your face. I will see you in the next TTX 2 weeks from now. I hope to see you there or inside of the Legacy Forge. Check out everything that we have if it sounds interesting.